Your doctor walks into the room. They sit down across from you. They look at your chart, and then they say 4 words. This is going to hurt. And it does. Not because it had to, but because they told you it would. Most people have heard of the placebo effect. You take a sugar pill believing it is medicine. Your body responds as if it were real. Pain reduces. Symptoms improve. The belief does something the pill could not. But there's a mirror image of the placebo effect that almost nobody talks about. It works in the opposite direction, and it is significantly more powerful. It has a name, the nocebo effect, from the Latin word meaning I will harm, and unlike the placebo, it does not heal you. It makes you sick. In 1981, a physician named Clifton Meador treated a patient in Alabama who had been diagnosed with terminal esophageal cancer. The man was told he had months to live. He accepted it. He began declining. He died within the predicted window. But when Meador examined the body, something was wrong. The tumor was tiny, far too small to have killed him. It had not spread. It had not reached any vital organ. By every medical measure, the cancer should not have been fatal. The man had not died from the disease. He had died, as best as Meador could determine, from the diagnosis. He believed he was dying, and so he did. This sounds impossible. But the science behind it is not mysterious at all. Your brain and your body are not separate systems running parallel to each other. They are one system. What your mind believes, your body begins to execute. When you expect pain, your nervous system primes itself for pain. It sensitizes your pain receptors before anything has even touched you. When you expect illness, your body reduces its own immune response in preparation for the deterioration it has been told is coming. When you expect to feel weak, your muscles produce measurably less force. The expectation is not just a feeling, it is a biological instruction. In 2007, researchers at the University of Turin ran a clinical trial on patients receiving pain treatment. One group was told their medication was being stopped without warning. Another group was told in advance that it was being stopped. The group that received the warning experienced a dramatic return of pain, significantly more intense than the group who did not know. The medication was identical. The bodies were identical. The only difference was the words spoken before the treatment ended. The warning itself was the dose. But here's where it gets genuinely unsettling. The nocebo effect does not require a doctor. It does not require a diagnosis. It doesn't even require your conscious awareness. In 2013, a study published in the journal Pain found that patients who overheard negative conversations between medical staff experienced worse outcomes than patients who heard nothing. They were not part of the conversation. They were not directly addressed, but their nervous system was listening anyway. Your brain is running a constant threat detection program in the background of every experience you have. It absorbs language, it absorbs tone, it absorbs the expressions on the faces of people who are supposed to know more than you do, and it updates its predictions accordingly. There is a documented phenomenon called mass psychogenic illness. A group of people in the same environment begin experiencing the same physical symptoms: nausea, headaches, dizziness, rashes, difficulty breathing, with no physical cause that any test can identify. It has happened in factories, in schools, in military units. In 2006, a group of students in a Portuguese school began falling ill after watching an episode of a popular television series in which characters experienced a mysterious virus. Over 300 students across 14 schools reported the same symptoms. None of them had a virus. They had a belief, and the belief was contagious in the most literal sense. The nocebo effect reveals something about the human mind that is both remarkable and deeply uncomfortable. You are not a passive observer of your own health. You are an active participant in it. The stories you are told about your body become instructions your body tries to follow. The diagnosis you receive does not just describe what is happening, it shapes what happens next. A doctor who says, "This will be very painful," is not preparing you. They are dosing you. A person who says, "I always get sick in winter," is not observing a pattern, they are issuing a command. The language we use about our bodies is not neutral. It never was. Researchers studying nocebo responses have found one consistent factor that reduces its power. Not intelligence, not willpower, not positive thinking in the shallow motivational sense. The factor is informed awareness. People who understood that their expectation of pain itself amplifying the pain experienced significantly less of it, not because they denied the pain was real, but because they understood the mechanism producing it. The nocebo effect loses power the moment you can see it operating. Knowing it exists is not just interesting, it is protective. Your body is listening to every word you say about it. Every time you tell someone you are exhausted, your brain notes the instruction. Every time you say, "I am terrible at this," your nervous system adjusts its output accordingly. Every time you anticipate the worst, your body begins preparing for the worst before the worst has arrived. This is not mysticism. This is neuroscience. The placebo and the nocebo are not tricks played on weak minds. They are the normal operating system of every human body that has ever existed. The question is not whether your beliefs are affecting your biology. They are. The question is whether you are paying attention to which direction they are pushing it, because your body has been listening this whole time. You just never knew it was taking notes.